everybody, and welcome to Hex Token channel. Let's welcome to this channel. Hope you guys are doing good. What was sort of intro was that, man? That's such a hilarious intro. Honestly, I have to rewind that back again. Let's play the intro again and restart. That's pretty much it. Welcome everybody, of course, to Hex Token channel, representing. Woohoo! Let's get it on. And of course, it's going to be. Is that Marvin Gaye? Let's get it on. I think that's a different meaning, but hey, it's just the way it goes. Welcome everybody. Of course, we've got a lot on, man. We're going to be talking about the crypto market prices. We're going to talk about EW, ETH. We're going to talk about Hex and all, Hedron and Maxi. Obviously, team and perpetuals. We're going to look at all that stuff. Obviously, the title of the video: Maximus stakers hit Hex whale status, owning 1% of the TShares. That is a big deal. And of course, we're going to look at that between the perpetuals and the Maxi Super Shark stake. This is a huge thing. There are 14 whales, and now there are 15. There are 14 whales, now there are 15, and that's no easy feat, given the share rate going up. So that's huge. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Pulse Bitcoin. We're going to talk about liquid loans. Yeah, boy. We're going to talk about the Hex Daily Stats, and of course, stay tuned for all of that's coming up. So get into the chat, say hello. Your boy Superman is in the house. Is that the way I wrote it? Your boy, is that all internet ghetto? I don't know. That's just the way I go. BDC is in the house there. Boom. J Judge as well. Good to see you. Pow and Acadia as well. Third. Nice one. Good to see Hex Token channel members in the house so quickly. Rango as well. Hey, all good to see Rango. Pac-Man as well. Woohoo. Get excited for sure. A big welcome, of course, from Hex Token channel. We've got Unprotected Hex in the hell. LFG. Now, this is the second to last day where I'm doing 2 live streams. Tomorrow's the last day. Today, this afternoon, I'm expected to have Dip Catcher from the Maximus team for their second live stream for day 21 results as we get into the final. Or it'll be about last 17 hours or something like that. We're counting down already to 1 day left for the Maximus team and perpetuals. Look at that, 25 minutes into the hour, and then we're into the last day. So it's going to be very nice, and of course it's going to be fun. Going to be fun. So stay tuned for that. Rango's in the house there. Hey, Rango, let's go. Absolutely, let's go. Wookie is here today. Woohoo! Good to see Wookie. Wookie Hedron is a Jedi. And, of course, hey, Hex Token from Ted Nelson. Good evening, everybody in Crypto Freedom. What's up, Superman? I pumped this up. Absolutely, it's going to be a lot of fun. George Toko as well. What's up, guys? Shano as well. Hey, y'all. Hey, good to see you. And, of course, Dave Down Under. Hi, Superman. I used your tutorial over the weekend to get EW and Hex forked. Thanks so much for making it simple to follow. Hey, Dave. You're welcome, and we're going to get a lot more of that. So Wednesday, I'm going to move to 1 live stream, which will be at this time, and then I'm going to be moving into doing insight videos, tutorials, all that sort of stuff, really short videos, maybe something like 3 to 15 minutes, somewhere in that sort of zone, depending on what the topic is. And of course, that's going to be a lot of fun. So I look forward to all that. What else there? Brendan's in the house there. Let's get it on. Let's get it on. Now, Rango says if you have any EW, don't send to Kraken. Need 40,000 confirmations. Are you kidding me, Rango? Really? That's insane. Don't do that, folks. So good one there. I think Maxi is quite good, isn't it? Maxi. Katie in the house there. Maxi, Paul Mike 600 pulled Hex on the stream. Hey, that's true. We might actually hit some targets on the stream as well for the Maximus. So stay tuned for that. We're going to go through all that stuff. And of course, we're going to have the full update for day 21 results this afternoon, which is probably about 5.5 hours time from now with Dip Catcher on, hopefully, as well. Thomas Turner and us. Hey, family. Good to see Thomas Turner. Well, here we are at the moment. The BTC just pulled back a little bit from yesterday. BTC just under 19,000, 18,817. We've got Ethereum at 1293, down 1.3. And we've got BNB down just slightly there, 0.4% at 274. What else is looking good? XRP's looking okay, actually. Up 1.77. Not a big fan in particular. Technology's great, but just not around the Ripple there. Apparently, someone said they have sold out most of their stuff on the Ripple there, the XRP from the Ripple. But yeah, I'll have to double check all that. That's pretty much it. I think what's Ape over here? Looks quite good, up 5% on this board here. But that's pretty much it with the market. So let's jump over to EW. EW here is cooled off. It cooled off pretty much. It had a really good time with the double top there. So I think a double top, yeah. It's just, yeah, got up to $13.58, came back down to $10.80, and of course got back up to $13, $13.40. Just eased back now at $11.54, which actually looking pretty good, actually. Still holding up at this sort of level. rather than coming down dramatically back, say back to $9 or something like that. But yeah, that's for 7 days. 24 hours, of course, just pulled off a little bit east there, but holding up fairly well there in the $11.60 mark. So yeah, let's see where this chain goes. Obviously, it's highly speculative in the early days. A lot of opportunity, of course, for upside, but also volatile. So we'll see where the chain goes. Obviously, a lot of markets supporting it, all these big markets, and of course the trade volume in here not too bad, picking up there. That's something I'd definitely be wanting to watch, is the trade volume as well, and so forth. So lots of obviously exchanges there. Let me just jump through some of this. Yeah, Kraken's the one that you said is ridiculous. So I wouldn't probably use Kraken if that's the case. Maxi Glow apparently is quite good. So, and obviously FTX was up pretty much first, weren't they? FTX with OKX there is the start there. So very cool. Let's jump away from that, of course, and have a look at some of the news. Now, people were talking about NFTs on these chains, right? So we talk about Hex and everything else, which is on there. But looks like they had a pretty decent size NFT launch on here. Beatles, the NFT that's to celebrate the EW Genesis, is live. And of course, 5,700 minted. This is 21 hours ago, so it's a bit old. Mint at Cycalang.com. Now, if you're in the whitelist, the public sale will be in 55 minutes. So looks like they had that. We've got some Beatles and some larvae stuff there. And yeah, it looks like it went okay. This is the website here. And of course, we've got a pre-sale. Is it 25th and the 9th? Yeah, it's already had. So we just had the pre-sale. Looks like all the Beatles. It looks a bit of fun. I mean, people like this because it's fun. On the website, they seem to have a decent amount of followers, 7,387. And it looks like they had some pretty good results. So this was posted 13 hours ago. Whitelist was open for 2 hours, and public mints looks like they had 4,465 ETH was the total volume, and the floor price at 1.6 ETH. So what's that? About 12, maybe $20, something like that. Well, not quite that much. $18, something like that is the price floor. So not too bad. Nice to see NFTs coming onto EW there. So that was kind of cool. So I'd briefly cover that. Looks like the volume's gone up. This is just 27 minutes ago. Looks like they've got 9,400 items, 3,800 owners, 3,800 owners, 9,176 EW. Floor price has gone up. So it looks like the floor price was 1.6 on the sale. Looks like it's gone up to 5.8 ETH there on there as well. So that's a bit of a decent move. So it's cool. Thought I'd just highlight that. So there is NFTs on there. Now, the other thing, of course, ETH Fair has actually done very well. Moving over to this blockchain, the other proof of work fork of Ethereum, $2.30 up 103%. So nice move. And I know some people in our Discord underpriced there. At least one of our most prominent members did pretty well in here, moving into ETH from ETW. So it looks like they may have played the holy grail there, jumping from pump to pump, which is pretty nice. At 24 hours, though, we've gone from $1.13 all the way up to $3.16, which is pretty impressive pump, right? And then just pulled back here to $2.30. Looks a little bit similar to the EW in terms of still holding up here at $2.30. But what a nice move over the 7 days, of course. We were starting all the way down here at 59 cents. Imagine getting that 59 cents and in a very small space of time up to that $3 mark, which you can't actually see on here. But I think it went to $3, $3.16. Yeah, that's a bit weird, isn't it? But cool. The Maxi, of course, that's the history of it here. We'll see if we can get anywhere near back to $17, $18. Be interesting on that one. Just like it'd be interesting to see whether EW could, if we look at the total period, could get anything back up to $50 or something like that. Obviously, people like calling big numbers like, oh, this could go to $100 and things like that. And it is the coin of the chain, but it's still got a long way to go, right? Still a lot of ecosystem build out and stuff. The positive move was all exchanges at the beginning. That introduces a whole ton of people to trade on it and to spread the word. But once again, still new, and we're in bearish climate, and of course, it's going to be volatile. So you've got to take all that into account. But nevertheless, the last couple of days has been fantastic for speculators as this chain's pricing itself up a bit. We'll see where it goes from here. From here. So that's pretty much it on the markets. Obviously, you got all your copies. If you had copies on Ethereum, you would have got them copied over to the ETHW and ETH Fair chain. A lot of people have been speculating over there. In fact, pretty much the Hex community has probably led the way. Say that, of course, it looks like Uni's over there. A lot of people with Uni and SHIB starting to use it as well a lot more. So those tokens look like they're getting priced up, which is pretty interesting. And they'll probably be similar to Pulsechain, although I imagine there'll be a lot more communities active on Pulsechain straight out of the gate. So we'll see. It's pretty interesting stuff there. Now, if you want to get access to EW and ETH and all the stuff like that, all the useful links here, including the prices, if you want good price references. Remember, just a bit of a heads up on ETW, if you're using Kyberswap to do on-chain swaps from ETW to HEX, for example, that the US dollars are all false on there. There's no stable coins, and therefore the US dollar values are highly inflated. So you can use the links that I posted down here for ETW, ETH Fair there. So very cool. Other than that, of course, ETH Fair details are here, including the adding to MetaMask, importing contracts, doing cross-chain swaps from Ethereum, say, to ETW, ETH Fair, say, and of course the on-chain swaps there with the Uniswap ETH Fair. And then above that, of course, is Ethereum proof of work, and of course you can add the chains in, and of course do swaps. You can swap cross-chain swaps there, as well as on-chain swaps as well with Kyberswap. Once again, just take into account that the US dollar value there is just rubbish. So some people weren't trading because they thought they're going to pay $40 in gas fees. It's just the fact is that it's just the US dollar stuff's not real. The other thing, of course, if you're going to also mint the team of perpetuals, if you go a bit further, you can find the two sites that for team and perpetuals, where you can also stake your Maxi and Hex in those on the ETH and ETH Fair network that's a bit higher up here. If you're going to do Ethereum, of course, you can do Ethereum up here as well for Maximus team and perpetual. So all the links are there on useful links. We just hit 750 members. Woo-hoo-hoo! That is awesome. Congratulations to everybody in the community. This is what we really want. We want a good community, as safe as possible, with really good information. And I think we're building that out on the Discord, which was underrepresented for Pulsechain, Hex, and Pulsex. So I think it's going nicely, right? We've got a lot of cool moderators as well. Brian, our community lead, and of course, KD, Sandy Beach, Wookie, Fat Sammy, and many others in there as well. So it's turning out to be quite good there. All right, let's jump away from that, and we're going to get into where we're going next. We're going to, I think we're going to the Hex starts. So let's talk about this. But before we do that, let's catch up on some comments. There's quite a few more people in the chat there. So let's have a look here. We got KD says, Max Pool might hit 600. Yep. And Thomas Turner. We've got Adan as well. Hey, Superman, great stuff. And stake perpetual pools on Diamond. And stake my team ready to ride the awesome wave. Let's go. The future of is Hex people. Let's go, says Adan. Absolutely, man. Congratulations to you as well. Christian Collins says, where and how is the easiest way to get ETW? Well, I kind of just covered that. Just go to useful links, and ETW you can use SwapSpace or ChangeNow.io. And of course, that's pretty fast. Now, when you're buying it, it's fast. So you'll be able to get ETW if you're, say, using ETH. You can do that on SwapSpace or Change.io. SwapSpace is an aggregator, so it will find the best one that you want to do, pretty much, which is here. So there's a SwapSpace one there. Swap tokens, so ETW. But if you are selling on this particular one, it takes 500 confirmations, so it could take 2 hours for that to get processed. Now there is, yeah, that's probably the main thing I'd say. It's just when you're selling back, it does take a long time. When you're buying, it's very quick, a couple of minutes probably. So just take into account. So that's important, because if it takes so long to get confirmations on those sites, the price might change. So if you're selling at a certain price, 2 hours later, the price might be different. So just take them into account. All right, cool. Let us know in the chat if you know of a place that is that's not requiring all those confirmations, but that's as far as I know at this stage. All right, cool. Let's get into the Hex chart. Woohoo! And of course, what else there, Shano? Good vibes. I like that. All right, so cool. Welcome everybody. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell, all that good stuff as well. I think, how's the channel doing, actually? We're trying to head up towards 6,000 subscribers, which sounds pretty good. Sounds pretty good. I think 5555 was pretty good. We got into the 555 club. We're 5,867, so smash that subscribe. And we need 133 to get to 6,000, which is kind of cool. What else there? The Hex price, 3.367, so not too bad. Not too bad. Bounced off again, that 2.7, 2.8 range. Obviously, in the 18th of June, we hit 2.8, And it looks like back here on this chart, on the Hex chart, we just recently got to 2.766. I think one of the charts, one of the pools had 2.5, but yeah, not sure which one that's on. Maybe it's on, it depends on how you look at it. But this one here, 2.7866, which is pretty similar to our 18th of June number over here, 2.814. This one over here, others on the daily candle on Hex and USDC. And of course, not too bad, little bounce there. And we'll see where we go from here. Obviously, Hex is still subject to risk off, risk on, as opposed to the Hart's law, which is really associated to that link to ETH. I think we've got about 11% in the ETH pairing. So really, it's we do have to. A lot of people forget that risk on, risk off. We still are subject to that, even if we've got a lot of our stuff in USDC. And that's kind of the Hart law with the ETH going up and down. But we did a little bit of a drag there, but not much. It's kind of where we are, 3.367 cents. Now, big whales can change these prices a lot. They can change them going up. They can change them going down. And there are certain players out there that can do both of those. And of course, we have seen a reasonable amount of support down at this level. If you think about it, we haven't really collapsed down lower. Obviously, some people are suspecting that if we hit BTC down at that 11, 12K, sort of Richard Hart's target there, 85% pullback, then we may get into that place. Also, the other unknown is how high interest rates will go because we're moving from a period of cheap money to more expensive money, and at some stage that will have a hard landing for the economy, and particularly the US, and then obviously that spills over globally. So yeah, we'll see how we get on at this stage. Obviously, if we can, cool down the interest rate hikes by the end of the year and not have a lot going into next year, that will bode well for the asset markets, generally speaking. That being said, of course, Hex may perform when others are not. And of course, I think Richard Hart in his Pulsechain conference keynote speaks kind of hinted that. Now, obviously not investment advice or no expectations, but he kind of hinted that he felt that could definitely happen, that where Hex makes another counter move to the rest of the market, even in worse financial conditions. So we'll see how we get on. That's kind of where we're at the moment, 3.367 cents. And of course, let's have a look at Maxi. Maxi at the moment was doing pretty well up here at 2.4. It hasn't broken out there yet. And of course, we can see that we have 1 hour and 10 minutes to go. Almost 24 hours left for the team Maximus Perpetuals. This is the main event, of course. We're getting down to if big players are going to move, they're going to move in the next 24 hours. And of course, we've already seen some move over the last 4 days. And of course, let's see what happens in the next 24 hours. Could be absolutely incredible. So we're going to talk about that in the second too. So that's kind of where Maxi is at the moment. It's down to 2.29. And I think I actually have a Maxi in a different chart here. Yeah, here's Maxi here. So got sold down a little bit here with a few sells. Interesting. Some of these may be swapping into Hex to go into perpetuals. So that is some of the countenance to some of this here. On the other hand, some people want to get Maxi to buy to get into the team, right? So you got a back countenance there between some people that are going to move to possibly mint the perpetuals and others that are going to want Maxi to get team. So a bit of a battle going to go on, I suggest, over the next 24 hours. We've had 35 buys and 16 sells on this trading pair, $68,000 volume, which dropped off. And of course, the last hour, 1 buy, 2 sells. Last 6 hours, 13 buys and 8 sells there. So some interesting stuff there. All right, cool. We've got 2.5 million Maxi in the pool at the moment, and 81,000 in this particular pool, this particular one here, which I think is one of the small ones there. So cool. What else there? I think we're going to jump to there. So that's pretty much it. Let's have a look at Maxi results at the moment. Before we do that, we're going to look at the Hex Whalebot, I think, and see what's been happening with Hex. So Hex and Maxi sort of talk about this together. We had some good accounting 23 hours ago. So 1.1 million Hex and penalties today. Beautiful stuff. Yesterday was a bonanza for penalties. It looks like today's going to be pretty good too. We had a short staker there come out. What else we got going on there? Another staker there. Look at this. Funny. Served at 1,005 days. Got 1,095 days left. That's just stupid, isn't it? That's just stupid. Anyway, paid a penalty of 874,000 Hex. I mean, seriously, dude. Seriously, you got 3 months to go in end stake. So I don't know whether that's a wise decision. That looks like a bad decision to me. Still got an ROI of 45%, but still, come on, dude. As we say. and you got a penalty of 874,000 hex. So who knows what they did with that? Maybe they went into perpetuals. I don't know. You could actually follow the chain and see what they did. 50 million hex stake for 10 days. There's another short-term staker there, rolling them over. We had another stake there as well. And then 5.4 million hex sold 2 hours ago for 184,000 USDC. So that's pretty much it. Let's see what we've got any update there. Even Hexol just replied to that, which is funny. And Hex Asians as well. So cool. That's pretty much it. Let's have a look at the staking. We've got obviously big staking coming up here with in the next couple of days. So that's coming. Let's have a quick look at the next. It is the global stakes for everybody until the end of the year. We've got this our last big candle coming out, 761 million hex there. We obviously got other decent sized candles following it here. A lot of these are the short stakers that we're familiar with. Pretty much, over the next 90 days, they're kind of the short stakers. They stake and just keep scraping interest, or otherwise just like to have that short-term staking period. So we'll see how all this goes. Today, we've got something like 229 million, 178 million. So, decent candles coming out in the next 2 days. A bit of a gap between that for a couple of days. But then we get back to the 1st of October. We've got this big candle and followed by some decent other ones after that, all the way through to mid-October. Most of these will probably just restake. None of these are really eligible to go in to the perpetuals. So maybe this candle today, maybe some of that might go into perpetuals. This one here, it's possible. So we'll see. All right, so that's pretty much it on the staking ladder. Let's get it. We've got 1 day and 5 minutes to go for the team perpetuals minting. So you've still got plenty of time if you want to mint either team or perpetuals with the base trio, Lucky or Decimus. That's pretty much it. Let's have a look at the results. Woohoo! Rock on. Let's get into the team perpetual results. This is so much fun, wasn't it? And of course, we talked about these targets. And of course, we have actually ended up getting to pretty much to them. Look at this, folks. Base at 76.39 million. Amazing. Almost 4,000 TShares in base. We've already got almost 15 million in diamond hands. Remember, this is the yield for the Hex staking pool. And this is in addition. You're going to earn yield in the diamond hands on top of this yield on X. So fun. Of course, this is the diamond hand class. So we got 15 million over 76. So that's pretty 15 over divided by 76. That's 2. What happened there? Oh my goodness, that was easy. I must have had some other calculation in there or something. 76. That's 20%. 20% so far in the base. And of course, Trio, the 3-year Hex staking pool. Almost 15 million, and of course, almost 3,400 TShares there. 2.3 million in the diamond hands already. So out of this, 2.3 million. So 12.3 divided by let's say 50, and that's around about 25%. So slightly more diamond hands than compared to base, which may mean possible a little bit more uplift potential in Trio. 56.6 million in Lucky. And of course, 5,700 TShares, amazing. And of course, diamond hands, 9 million in there. So let's do a bit of math on that. 9 million divided by 56.6, say. That's at 16%. So that's the lowest out of these, the lowest that's staked. So that means more in the market there. So far, Trio looking like going to be the scarcest token out there based on the staking amount and of course of the diamond hands. Now, obviously, Decimus, man, wow. The 10-year staking pool. Remember, Lucky was 7 years. Decimus, 10-year staking pool. The closest one to Maxi, which is the 15.2-year staking pool. And, of course, that has 42,000 TShares. Decimus there, 406.8 million in it. Unbelievable. Remember, Maximus had 294.3 million. This has got 406, which is unbelievable. And it's still got over a day to go. We have still got over a day to go there. Where's the time of that day? 1 day and 3 minutes to go on this. So we're still going to go up and away. That's crazy stuff right there, right? 0.8 divided by 294. Calculator mistake there, unfortunately. 0.8, let me just read. 406. 0.8 divided by 294. 294.3. That is a 38% higher than the Maxi stake. That's how much Hex has gone in there. Is that insane in the membrane or what? We've got 52,000 TShares, folks. Unbelievable. 52,000 TShares, 52,000, 52 divided by 42 as an example. So 24% more TShares in the Decimus than compared to the Maxi, which is the 15th biggest shark. The Maxi is the biggest 15 shark, the 30th biggest stake in Hex. And now we've got an even bigger one here, a super shark here, which is even higher ranked. So that's pretty amazing. Now we've got a total of 589.5 million Hex in the pool. Woo! That is just so awesome. Heading towards our target of 600 million. We're so close, and we've got a day to go. We've got a day and 2 minutes to go. Oh my gosh, this is going to be epic. What are we going to get there? We're already obviously about to move into extra supply. So let me pull in the waterfall chart that we've been following with the Hex circulating supply, because this is where the big deal is for Hex, right? And of course, my argument has been that this is staking, getting Hex staked that otherwise wouldn't be staked, or otherwise wouldn't be staked at this particular time in the cycle, like that where we are at the moment, given all the market conditions. So I think that bodes pretty well. So we are sitting here. Let's update our spreadsheet, and of course, let's take in the Maxi here. We've got 589.5. So we're just going to say 590 there. So we're going to change that to 590. Unbelievable, man. We're basically almost at a 600 million. Absolutely incredible. So there we are, eating up the Hex circulating supply. Up, down it goes. And of course, we're about to enter this period here, the upside, Maximus upside. Oh man, it's going to be so awesome. So that's pretty cool. So that is our waterfall chart. We're going to follow that pretty closely. And wow, look at this. And the other big thing, of course, if we add this up, so we add 590, this 590 plus our Maxi stake of 294. We're pretty much at 885 million Maxi. So we've got 115 million Maxi to reach 1 billion Hex that's gone through the Maximus DAO staking pools. 1 billion. We are so close. And we've got a day to do it. We've got a day to do it. Look, a day. We've got 1 day to go to do this. This is incredible. 1 day to go. It's counting down. 19 seconds. It's counting. I see it. It's in front of me. It looks pretty awesome. And of course, we're down and almost into the last 24 hours. Here we go, folks. Let's cover it live stream. Booyah. Boo, boo, boo. Exclusive on Hex Token channel. Just kidding. That's pretty cool. We got 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. You've got 1 day to go. We're ticking it down. Get out there, folks. Spread the word about Maximus team and Perpetuals. You got less than a day now. This is official. 0 UTC time. The 27th is when it finishes. The 27th, 0 UTC time. So we've got less than a day to go. Rock on. I can't believe we covered this just at the right time. That's some crazy stuff right there. All right, so cool. Now let's get into the more alpha. There's more alpha. And of course, 65,161 TShares. Let's get into it with my spreadsheet. So 65,000. What do you say? Man, it's already gone up since I did it. 65,161. That's some crazy stuff right there. 65. What did I say? 65,141. Is that what I said? I think it's what I said. 161. 161. That's pretty bad. 161. 161. 61. Bam. So we've got Maxi has 42,104 TShares. You can see that here. This is the Maxi one here. Boom, boom, boom on the Maxi.cash. And looks amazing. It's got about $90,000 worth of Hedron in it. And of course, all this juicy Hex. It's already accumulated 38.8 million Hex. Amazing, right? Absolutely amazing. And of course, we add those TShares, 42,104 for the Maxi. Perpetuals at 65,161. And that's only still going up. That gives us 107,265. Woohoo! Maximus DAO Gladiator TShares. Amazing. And of course, the total TShares 10.4 million. And a whale target. To become a whale, a winning whale, you need 104,000 TShares. And where do you see this happening? Obviously, we had 14 whales. Now we've got 15. Maximus DAO is that. And of course, we're already above it by 3,242 TShares. So in comfortably. And we've got 1 day to go as we're counting it down. That's pretty alpha. So well done to Dipcatcher and Goldkey, the Maximus team. Well done to all the gladiators that are now in this absolutely epic ecosystem, earning yield on multiple chains, and of course, multiple staking pools. It's absolutely mind-blowing. Really is cool. So very nice. What's that? 15 plus 3. That's 18 different revenue streams at least, something like that. It's pretty crazy what this ecosystem's doing, and there's more to come. More to come. This is phase 2, phase 3. Who knows what the team will come up with that? It's going to be a lot of fun. I've got a few ideas myself, but we'll see what happens there. Pretty epic. So let's get into it, folks. We've already got close to 50 million in the diamond hands as well. So overall, 50 million. If we take 50 million and divide that by 590, say, that's what, 8.5%. 8.5% there is in the diamond hand so far. So 8.5% will be off the market in terms of the perpetual tokens. Now the team doing like a boss. There's 78.37 million in the team. How many people guess that? I mean, that's amazing. I mean, we were playing around with 20%. Remember, we said, oh, 20%. We said, oh, maybe we could get 100 million. Maybe imagine we got 100 million. That's like right up there in the percentage. And of course, we got 24 hours to go. As I say, 24 hours to go, just under to get this target. And of course, 78.37. That's amazing. Let's have a look at the numbers. 78.37 divided by 293.3. That is currently 26.7% of all Maxi is now in the team minting. And of course, that's amazing. 51.63 million is staked already. And of course, the 26.7 million is liquid. The total Maxi, of course, 20% is going to be burned. So out of the 78.3 million Maxi that's gone into the team, so 15.67 million has been burned, or will be burned in less than 24 hours. So when this clock finishes, the finalized minting function is going to run. Everything's going to get set up, the staking pools, the reward pools, and all that good stuff. It's going to be fun to see. And of course, this is going to be burned in 24 hours. Woo! Burn, baby, burn, 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 baby, burn. That's what's going to happen there. We got 30% going into the 369 Maxi rebate. Remember, there's one of the 4 different rewards that you earn when you're a team staker. And of course, you earn the 50% of the bigger pays better bonus from the perpetuals as they come due. You earn the hedron that comes from those as well. You also earn this 369 Maxi rebate. It's currently got 23.5 million Maxi in it. And of course, 1/6 of that's coming out in year 3, and then so on and so on. So really, this is off the market, and that's off the market for a long time. That's off permanently. That's off for a long time. And of course, the Maxi mystery box there is getting 50% of the Maxi, 39.19 million, plus a full 100% copy of the team minted at the end in 24 hours. And it's going to become a juggernaut in the ecosystem. Presumably, it's going to be benevolent, right? I can say that. I'm a YouTuber. I'm not the founder. So I'm presuming it's going to be benevolent. So we might get these mystery box, might give mystery airdrops. And of course, that's the 4th alpha there. In addition to this, of course, anybody else can drop to those. Any other project can drop to these Maxi DAOs. Maybe they want to encourage their get a bit of attention. They can drop rewards to these stakers based on the official tokens. And maybe also new products as they come out. They flow in, their benefits flow into the DAO as well. So becoming the team DAO, you really are a believer in the Maximus DAO and the Gladiators, and of course in the future rollouts of new products. How successful they've been so far, absolutely amazing. And of course, we've still got 24 hours to go for the second wave here. It'll be awesome. We hit 2,000 minters, team minters, 2,095 team minters, and they have 63.3 million Maxi on the sidelines. The Hex Gold Whale still number 1, but of course, we've got plenty of whales, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 whales over 1 million holding team, and of course 2,095 team minters all up so far with a day to go. Spread the word, as I say. Let's have a quick look at the view chart and have a look at the results in graphical form. It's pretty amazing. What will this reach? We're already basically at 600 million target. We're pretty much there. How far much more will go in there? Will we reach 700 million? Who knows? 750. Will all the big whales come in? Will the Hex God Whale go in? All these other things. Will all these things happen? We've got so many other people that can go in. It's going to be crazy to see. And away we go. So cool. And he's added a new one here, all pools. This brown one's a new chart on this. You can see the growth. It's absolutely amazing. Team in red, and of course, all pools in brown at the top there. Amazing stuff. So very, very cool. This is going crazy and a day to go. So we're counting it down. So that's pretty much it for the Maxi. Let's have a look at some of the comments on Twitter. Names out there. Only took me about 10 minutes to change my life forever. It's a join club there. That's when you join the diamond hands. So each pool, the base, trio, lucky, decimus, they all have their diamond hands. So if you stake your ownership tokens the base trio, Lucky and Desi, of those staking pools, then they all get locked into the same contract, and you join the club. Basically, it's like a club contract for those diamond hands there. So you can see that on the blockchain here, which is pretty cool. What else there? Hex Stakes says minted Maxi, minted all perpetuals, minted team, stake team, diamond handed all perpetuals, anything else I missed, which is pretty cool. So lots of people are excited about that. Obviously hit some cool milestones there as well, and we'll jump through some of this because we've covered a lot of this stuff here. Long-term Hex ecosystem value, keep billions of dollars of gas fees in the Hex economy. That's one of the big savings. High earnings, 99% lower fees, cash out anytime, simple user experience. So that's one of all the benefits there from the staking pools, which is pretty cool. Hitting some really cool milestones over the night as well. Dano Vic says, fellow Hexkins, onboarded my dad today thanks to this great animated video. He understood it. So lots of stuff happening there. And cool. Jay Plush there. The results have blown past his statistics that he estimated. And of course, he's excited about that. So cool. We are so close to the 600 million. I think that's kind of some of the cool things. What else there? Let's jump through some of this. 5 hours ago, this launch has been a huge celebration of Hex and a gift to our future selves. Be proud, be inspired, gladiators. 5 hours ago from that. So cool. Avit says, if I had any liquid Hex, I would pledge it to Decimus. Dipcatcher says, I would pledge it to Lucky. Now, obviously, Lucky's coming out at the end of the before the 10-year stakes in the first month in 2030. And so it's actually at a pretty pivotal time, front running all the other 10-year stakes that have been staked there since, like 2020 and stuff. So exciting there. A bit of a nice play. What else there? Jumping through some of this. And I think there. Yep, and this, of course, we covered this today. This is the main theme for today's video. Breaking news, the gladiators of Maximus DAO are now set to become a Hex whale. Only more than 1% of TShares. Isn't that beautiful? So there were 14 winning whales. It's now 15 if you add these two together, that is. So obviously there'll still be 14, but if you add them together, the Maxi and the perpetuals, that would make them effectively a whale syndicate, as it were. Won't show up on Stake Wrap, though. All right, cool. So that's pretty much it from Maxi. And I think we've covered everything. Yeah, looking good. And look at the Maxi one there, just keep on getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Look, it started off with 294.3 million Hex in there, and that's already gained an extra 38.8 million. Just mind-blowing, right? And, of course, about $80,000 in Hedron as well. So very, very cool there. So that's some of the highlights there. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Now, obviously, we've got many, many whales in the whale club, and many of those have to move. If they're going to move, they're going to move in the next 24 hours. We will see what they end up doing. We can jump to the contract and see how many in here at the moment. And of course, we'll go to the holders here, and we can see the top whale. That is the team minting wallet with Maxi. We have the Hedron deployer second, and of course, we've got all these large whales holding team. Some of them have moved some stuff, some of them have not. So we'll see what all these whales do in the front page of the Maxi contract here, holding 1 million. So man, it's changed a lot. It's the number of people. A lot of these wallets have changed so dramatically over the last 21 days. It's been crazy. Yeah, 500,000 on second page. Now, I'm pretty sure we were on page 4, weren't we? I'm pretty sure we were on page 4. We're now on page 2. So things have moved around a lot. That's what happens when you put 27% of the Maxi into the holders there. So some crazy stuff right now. So cool. I think that's it. So 24 hours to go, folks, for the Maxi. Counting it down, and of course we're going to have Dipcatcher on in probably about another 5 hours or so, maybe, with the second live stream where we'll do day 21 results, entering into the final 17 hours on day 22, and see how we go. So very cool. But in any case, less than a day to go to mint your team of perpetuals. Tell your friends and family and things like that if they are going to do it. Maybe they've been waiting, that they've only got limited time. Pretty much it. All right, cool. We had like I say, we're having a little bit of ebbs and flows here. Be interesting to see what any of the sellers at the moment are doing, because getting Maxi is going to be much harder. The other thing, of course, is look at us. The holders down 1% today on a 24-hour basis. 1% decrease in holders, down to 5,288. Remember when I took my snapshot back here on the 10th of September, we had 5,514. So that's pretty dramatic in that so far. So down to 5,288. So that's another thing that's changed in Maximus. So very cool. All right, let's jump over to, I think that's it for that. We're going to close down some of these sites on this one. I might leave that one open, leave that one, close that one down. We'll close that one down and that one down and that one down. We're going to get into some of the other charts and, of course, Pulse Bitcoin. We're going to talk about that too. But let's get into Hedron first. Hedron at the moment is at 2,910, so pretty stable last 5 days or so, 6 days, just sitting there waiting, biding its time. Obviously, a lot of people have been distracted with ETH Power, ETH Fear, and all the copies and things like that. But of course, the next big play, my big plays are obviously Maxi, then possibly Pulsechain with the dual token system coming out, and then of course back into Icosa, Hedron. Those are kind of the safer, better plays in the ecosystem as opposed to the more speculative ones. So there we are at this moment. That's kind of where we are at that one. So just pretty cool. Icosa as well at $1.07 at the moment on Icosa at the bottom right there. That's pretty much it. Let's have a quick look at the BNB memes. BNB, of course, on the BNB chain now as just over 4/10 of a penny on Pulse Dodge. Nothing changed really there. P33 just up slightly. You can see that's up slightly on P33. Not doing too much, but it is up slightly, so that's not too bad. And Internet Money, what's happened to Internet Money? Still pretty low there. Not doing much there at the moment, but at least it's looking green on the current day candle. That's pretty much a Pulse Dodge. Let's jump to the airdrops. And of course, here we are, Pulse Dodge coin on the Ethereum network. And of course, let's have a look at this on the full screen. How's it doing? Pretty good. Good call from Superman. So here we are at $3.43. And of course, the high of the day of $3.69 and green plane. So let's get into some of the alpha here. This was put out 21 hours ago from Bitcoin. Obviously, the incorrect use of the word imminent is a problem. And they have been told. Wales done told you. Naheem done told you. Superman done told you. You guys are going to lose your freaking minds when you see this Bitcoin, Pulse Bitcoin DAT. OMG, I cannot wait. And of course, I had lots of likes there. Build completely from the ground up. No copy paster built there. And of course, I notice these are often doing the asterisks on this one. If you're not ready, make sure you are following Pulse Bitcoin. So that is the latest update here from the team. And of course, we are currently with the price here is starting to move. And of course, we moved off the bottom there at $2.39 and starting to rise here. So this is the next big play. Now, I don't know what the gamification is. So that's, caveat there from my part. But I suspect that if it's, I think that they did the Pulse Dodge coin pretty well, apart from some of the communications at the beginning. I think they actually did a very good design of this over the time. So we'll be looking forward to this. And let's see what it can do. Can it get back to all-time high of $5.50, $9.53, I should say? Can it break over the $10 and get to that maybe $13 to $14 range? We'll find out as well. So looking pretty good, though, and managed to bounce up to $2.40. So we'll see how we go. But this is kind of my next play at this stage. So cool. That is pretty much that. Now, I also wanted to get into some of the other charts. So we're going to talk about weight. Weight token at the moment is currently at 0.6 of a penny. Pretty much came back, by the rumor, sell the news. But of course, we're looking for the underlying value as well with the Ghost team, working on the on-ramp, off-ramp, and stablecoin for Pulsechain. Very, very nice. We like that. And of course, that's is additional to liquid loans. Now, because of ETH, ETH Fear, there's no stablecoins that have, they get copied over, but they're not worth anything. We're not going to have that problem on Pulsechain. We're going to have, at least within after 4 to 6 weeks, we're going to have liquid loans with USDL. And then have our own native stablecoin. It's going to be very powerful for the ecosystem. And starting near the beginning of the chain is going to be powerful. But hey, we may get the CST if they're successful in terms of covering all the regulations, getting all the financials up for that. We may have that out straight out of the gate. It might be out straight early there. So it's going to be interesting. We'll see how that goes. Now, obviously, that's going to be locking up fiat. And Coast will just be the administrator as opposed to the custodial. And away you go with that. So that could end up being a nice fiat back one. We'll have a fiat back one and an exogenous backed stable, the two best kinds out of the 4 main models that are out there at the moment. Of course, the third one there with the endogenous one is a failure model. It just fails like Terra Luna, so we don't want that at all. So that's pretty much it. All right, cool. Most people are waiting for their weight token, as we say. So that's pretty much that. Let's have a look at the wildcards. Wildcards, these are some of the community people that have launched their own tokens. And we've got PZen from Conrad Zen. And of course, I think he's got a live stream on. He either had one on or he's got one coming up. So Conrad's in there. Just over 6/10 of a penny. And what was I going to say about this? Really, it's it has broken down a little bit here, but it's still sitting around support. But yeah, 7/10 of a penny is really important for this. At the moment, it's just slowly just sold down there. We'll see where it goes. But this is not a good sign to me at the moment. But we'll see where it goes. My probability will be that it's going to be going down further than up. But hey, it might surprise me. But at the moment, just looking at this, it is teetering on that support line. It's just below it actually, so that's kind of make me feel a little bit that's going to get down, not up. But we'll see. We'll see how we get on. And of course, the more token there from Trayvon is breaking down even further slightly. It's down at the bottom here. It's been around here, but it's at the bottom at 75 cents there, looking a bit weak. Yeah, didn't like the fact it's got lower lows and of course lower highs. And yeah, so looking still weak at the moment. So we'll see how we get on with that one too. Trayvon rallying the troops there. Let's jump over to I actually haven't even got them open. What time is it? We've got the Hex Daily Stats coming out soon. Have we? Yeah, we've got date 1028 coming off soon. So we'll talk about that in a second. And of course, we're going to talk about liquid loans. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be cool. Let's jump over to where we're up to. I think we're gone up to all the charts there. That's pretty much it. So we're going to actually quickly look at ETH PAL, the Hex on ETH PAL, and so forth, and Hex on ETH Fear. See how that's going. And let's see if we're getting on here. So I'm going to go to liquidity. We've got top liquidity, a Uniswap actually. So there's been some interesting moves to the top. We've got Uniswap on the top now. ETH Hex, of course, was dominating. We've got PAL there as well. A few other tokens. We've got SHIB down here at number 12 on the volume. Really, these probably only maybe 7 or 8 have got the really decent retail liquidity for people to do some pricing up or speculation there. We've got Hex at the moment on the Hex. The WETH is really just ETH Fair, so just ignore that. It's at 001687. So was heading towards 2/10 of a penny. You can see it's just on the 24-hour drop back 9% there. So it seems to have found a kind of a range between 0015 and 2/10 of a penny or 002. So sort of that seems to have found a range there at the moment. May have another move. We'll see. Obviously, these are dynamic price discovery. But at the moment, of course, all your stuff over on Hex that you got copied over is worth this value as a price. So you can put that in the spreadsheet and value your price up of your portfolio now that you've got copied for free on the ETH PAL network. So cool. On ETH Fair, let's have a look at ETH Fair. Top liquidity pool 46,025.20. Compare that to ETH PAL, which is 237,182. You can see it's definitely like quite a bit bigger, 4x bigger or something like that. So ETH PAL, Hex is dominating with the Hedron pairs at the top. Hex, ETH Fair at this number 4 here on the V3. And of course, we can see there's only $16,000 of liquidity there, so still relatively small. And the price at the moment has weakened off there on the 24 hours, down 26%. And of course, sitting at about 0.0049. That did get up to got up to 2/10 of a penny. It was there for just a brief period of time. And it seems to be rising on the hour there, up 16, but very thin liquidity as well. Now, if you're trying to trade this out, of course, we've got all the links if you're wanting to get on there and buy, sell, whatever. We've got all the useful links here at the moment. Obviously here, we've got ETH Fair, all the links here. And of course, ETW, all the links here, including swapping and cross-chain bridges. So cool. And we've covered that quite a bit on this channel, as well as other YouTubers have as well. Let me think about some of the YouTubers that have done it. Generic Crypto, Maddie Allen, I think maybe Costa, maybe a couple others. There's probably half a dozen of us that have been pretty consistent with it, I think. Yeah, cool. But here's all the links right here. So that's pretty cool. All right, so that's kind of where we are with the charts there. We're going to get into the Hex Daily Stats. It's coming out soon, day 1028. But we're going to get into liquid loans next, so stay tuned for that. But let's get into the comments. I probably got a lot more comments in the house, so let me get back to that. I do apologize. We're not getting to that a bit earlier. we got a good thing I got up to there. Matt and Barley, howdy all. Good to see you, Matt. Party never ends, says BC. Absolutely. Well, where is the big Shemitah dump? I want more, says Tom Boss. UFO has landed. Hey, UFO, good to see you. DB Cooper has landed as well, DB. The Sir, when Moon to Pulsechain launch, 1 day closer, DB. 1 day closer. That's about as much as we know. Dang it. Yes, says that, DB. 3, 2, 1. Dang it. Francis in the house. Hey, Francis, good to see you. FUO says, Superman, are you sponsored by Maximus? No, UFO. But it is the best thing out there at the moment. It's huge for Hex and big for the team. So it's covering it has been an honor for sure. Francis in the house there. I love Jesus. Hello, how are all? Hello, all, says Francis. Good to see you, Francis. Hit the like, says Wookie. Definitely smash the likes. It's going to be burn and value should go up for Maximus. Yeah, definitely. Sandy Beach in the house there. Hi, Sandy Beach. Hello, everybody. And Brennan says, are team stakers only getting a share of the DESI? Bigger pays better because it's the only pool to hit that at the moment. That's true. No, well, it's relative, isn't it, Brennan? It's relative to whatever goes in there. But good observation. I was busy today. I still have to mint on the ETH Power and ETW. I have tomorrow, says Sandy Beach. You got 1 day left to go if you're going to do it to get the copies. Sandy Beach with the thumbs up. Everyone, please go to KSB TV and vote for Hex Token on Hex can Influence contest. Oh, wow. I didn't even realize they're having one of those, Sandy Beach, but definitely go and vote for Hex Token. Yeah, that's the hashtag Superman. A nice one there, Sandy Beach, on KSB T.TV. Yeah, go vote. That'd be cool. Hello, all. Exodus Maxi out in house there. Exciting times with Maximus. Absolutely amazing, mind-blowing times. There are several categories, says Sandy Beach. Yeah, definitely go and vote. Hexagon Batman says, is there a link for the Diamond Hand contract? There is, and we have them all in Discord. So if you want to go to Discord, go into our useful links. Discord link is in the video description. Go to useful links, scroll up to the derivatives, and the derivatives are Acosa, Hedron, and Maximus, of course. And you can find them here. So if you want to do ETH Power and ETH Fair, there is the Diamond Hands one there. Hit that link for the perpetuals. If you want to do it on the Ethereum network, then here is the link there, right there. So cool. You can find them on useful links there as well. So pretty easy to find under the old Hex derivative projects. So Maximus and so forth. So cool. They're right there. So that one and that one. Cool. All right. So very nice. I guess you want me to post it in the chat there. Let me see if I can post it for you in the chat. How about that? Here's that one. And here is the other one. Here's the other one for the ETH Power network. Cool. There we are. That's the first one. And that's for Ethereum. And these ones are for ETH Power and ETH Fair. Cool. All right. Let's get back onto it. We're up to day 1028. Hot off the press. Woo-hoo! Let's go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls around the world. Welcome to Hex. And of course, here we are, the day results, hot off the press, day 1028, as Hex heads towards 3 years. And of course, let's look at the results. We've got the 25th of September, 2022. We got the price up 2.4%. So our second daily gain in a row, which is nice, 3.357 cents. We'll take that. And the Hex payout per T-share, another good day in the office, 6.272 Hex per T-share. And yesterday was great. The day before, man, we've had great days for days. Look at this, all these fantastic payouts. And of course, I know Briz loves those almost as much as me. So that's pretty cool. We got the increase in T-share rate, 13.3 up to 24,192. Remember, the T-share rate just goes up and to the right, and it kind of reflects compound interest, makes it kind of earlier pays better, all that sort of stuff. The T-share price, $812. And of course, if you want to stake for 10 years, you'll get that for a third of the price, and you'll only need a third of the amount of the Hex, because you get when you stake your Hex gets burnt, and you get shares, and your shares, you get 20% more shares per year. So times 10 years, that's 200% more shares. So that's basically a third of the price is the way that works. The average stake length, 6.64 years. So most people, that's the average stake length for all stakes, 6.64 years, which is incredible, right? And that so it really is near the all-time highs. The annual percentage yield rate, yield and emergency in-stake penalties. So yield is inflation in Hex. Inflation has a nominal inflation rate up to 3.65%. And of course, the emergency in-stakes there at 38.5. So look at these results. Really, really good. Obviously paid out in Hex. Liquidity in the pool down from 300 million down to 282 million. Very nice. And of course, that means the price is going up. Obviously, people either supply and demand moves the liquidity pools, or people adding or removing liquidity. Those are the two forces there. Liquidity in the pool over 12 million. Very nice. We like that. And of course, liquidity in the pool up at 1,417. And you know what I'm going to say, very nice. That's pretty much it. I don't know why Borat's so famous, but there we are. It's probably because people like myself use them on YouTube. No, okay, so TShares down 4,600, down 2,600 and 6,000 last 3 days. And of course, we know what's coming up in a day's time. We're going to have a massive TShares, right? We're going to have massive TShares from the Maxi. Because it's going to stake these behemoth TShares here. And, of course, what are they currently at the moment? It's going to be pretty epic. Yeah, all these are going to get staked as an epic. And this ginormous 52 Super Shark is going to get staked as well. Already up to 65,000 TShares, mind-blowing. You're not going to often you're going to see an event like this. It's going to be harder and harder to do. It's going to be crazy stuff. So, yep, that TShare rates is going up as well. So that's cool. What else that we got in there? We got the circulating supply increased by 61 million, decreased by 53 million in staking. We currently got 61,870,000 hex staked, but of course we're going to get this stake soon, aren't we? 591 million plus is going to be staked. So that's going to be a major event on the Hex Daily Stats, isn't it? Adding that back up, pushing us back over 62 billion. And it's going to be very nice. So 62.5 billion, something like that. It's going to be crazy. We'll see where it goes at the end of the day. The average, the total amount of staked coins, of course, 9.61% of all Hex staked there, with the majority held by the Origin Sacrifice wallets. And of course, the penalties, 2.2 million today. Look at this. Woohoo! 7 out of the last 10 days have been over 1 million Hex penalties. Is that fantastic? That is absolutely awesome. And yesterday was spectacular, 12.8. A lot of good accounting in there. And, of course, some early in-stakes and good accounting in today's penalties as well. So pretty cool. We've got the growth in numbers, up 47 stakers today. The current holders down 199. I still don't know exactly what's happening with these numbers on the current holder numbers. But, hey, that's I'm just reading out what it says there. But the current stakers, that's been consistently, and it's up 47. We're almost up 110,000. Spread the word, as I say. Richard always says direct promotions, maybe, around your local block, maybe online. Whatever you're comfortable with, spread the word. Obviously, a really good DCA price for Hex at the moment after the 95% pullback, and obviously copy on Pulsechain, all that good stuff. Stake it and make it. Yeah, it's going to be epic. Total holders up 254 to 498,275. We're heading close to 500,000. This is going to be a very good symbolic number. And, of course, we're not far away from that. All right, cool. A couple of days away. We're currently on day 1,029. So 1095, which is 3 years minus 1029. Means basically we are 66 days away from 3 years. And, of course, that will be in our 4th year after that. And that's going to be epic for branding and promotions. And, of course, the haters will become lovers, as it were. How to convert a hater to a lover, go into your 4th year of staking and project liveness. So pretty cool. All right, jokes aside, that's pretty much the Hex Daily Stats. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Booyah. And, of course, the main thing about Hex is getting those TShares, getting a stake, getting that nice yield. And then, of course, when the price goes up, it's going to be yield times price, and you're going to have massive, massive mad gains. And stay tuned for that. All right, cool. Let's jump over. We're going to talk about liquid loans. So let's do that. We're up to almost an hour, which is pretty good. So we're going to talk about that. Emergard says Hexen. You're welcome there, Hexen Batman. Time to lock and play, says Thomas. Yep, definitely, that's true. Superman Contact is very nice, says Brenton. Very nice. Everyone will get nice value once the auction happens. HSI buybacks, yeah. So we're looking at 13th, 14th November, what I call the big fortnight payday. And, of course, that's going to make you really an OG, a big OG, because you're going to get a lot of the inflation for ACOSA, and you're going to, that lot that's going to come out during that time. And that will make you the big OG in that project. And so when the bull market comes on, you'll be laughing yourself silly with a huge amount of supply. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let me just swap over my wallet because it's on the wrong one here. Got to swap over to Pulsechain Test Network now for Liquid Loans Testnet. And, of course, this came out 2 days ago, but I kind of missed it. And so I'm just covering it now. Obviously, we've been able to play with the DApp on the Pulsechain Test Network. For liquid loans. Now, obviously, it's going to be the preeminent third-party DApp. It may get surpassed if there's some other DApps out there maybe, and I guess how would you measure that? Total value lock, something like that. And we'll see. There's one or two others I could see, challenging liquid loans, but at the moment, I think this is going to be the premium one, particularly obviously with the sacrifice, over $50 million sacrifice and stuff like that. A great team, huge community. I think it's going to be a big success. And of course, you can claim your rewards in the stability pool here. Obviously, we've got USDL here staked. And of course, you put PLS, you get in there, you get USDL, and you earn liquidation gains in PLS, and you earn loan rewards and as well. So we're just harvesting those. So that's pretty nice. That's what I got over that period of time. We then go to the staking pool where you can stake your loan token, which is a native token of loan. And of course, this is people sacrifice for this over $50 million to get loan token. Only about 25% is going to come out at the beginning. And then, of course, it's going to slowly be dripped out over a 2-year period of time. But of course, the Hex God Whale and all this big stuff is like 25% or so is way out in year 2. So they're long believers in liquid loans. And of course, you've got a little bit of USDL here from that. So we're going to claim that as well. So let's do that. And nice. So this is staking loan token, getting that. So it's pretty cool. Now, obviously, there's also the faucet down the bottom here as well. And people have been able to get 10 loan tokens from that. So we might go and try and get that too while we can and request that. And it's pretty easy to do. It costs you a little bit of test pulse. So obviously you need some pulse to operate on here because on the Pulsechain test network. Looks like that's going through. So it's 10 loan tokens. Pretty nice. Loans claimed. Nice. So we've done that. So that's pretty much it. That's what you can do on the test network. Obviously, there's other things you can play around with. But that's pretty much it. And of course, I've got 11.69 loan tokens there. I can stake all those. So we're going to do that quickly and so forth. So this is pretty much the DApp that we've been playing on. And of course, they have had feedback and changes. So we're going to talk about that in a second. I'm going to play a little video there from the CEO, Crazy Crypto, Crypto, something like that, CC, from Liquid Loans with Matt from Liquid Loans. So we're going to play that with all the latest updates. I hope you guys enjoy that. Just waiting for this to process. There we are. So we've increased our staking of loan token to 61.46. In our stability pool, we've got $6,189 in there. We've got a bit more USDL, so we can put that in there too. Might as well compound. Now, obviously, Power City is going to be looking to be able to do compounding with these dApps, and we're looking forward to that too. So you won't have to do a lot of the stuff here. You can just use Power City and, of course, do that way, and you get compounding value, which is a massive impact on the rewards and things like that. So we're looking forward to Power City's products as well. They're all complementary, work together. So it's pretty much it. So that's it. So we're up to 2,191 USDL in here, the stablecoin. And like I say, we are so lucky to have these projects on Pulsechain. And this is the benefit of delayed Pulsechain, is that we're going to have all these alpha AAA dApps probably running pretty much straight out of the gate within the first 4 to 6 weeks. So it's going to be pretty cool. And that gives a bit of time for the chain to speed up. We have more validators coming onto the chain. We're expecting that to ramp up, in terms of the TPS speed up to 3-second block times and stuff like that. Maybe start off at 12 to 15-second block times, I don't know, somewhere in that ballpark, and then ramp up to 3-second block times over the first 2 weeks. So we've got a bit of a stage process, but you can imagine the value as we get faster chain, as we get more people active, as more dApps come in, native coins, everything's going to be absolutely amazing from that one. So cool. That's pretty much it. Let's have a quick look at the CC update. This is about 7 minutes long, so I hope you guys enjoy this. Let's go.
Was a big one for liquid loans with the release of the DApp on the testnet. Can you give us some updates on how that's all going?
Yeah, look, we're really happy with it, how that went for us initially, and obviously with the rolling that out for the community and the feedback that we've gotten. I think having the ticketing system available has been really helpful. So we've had a lot of feedback, really positive feedback on the DApp. There have been some enhancement requests, which is really nice to get. And so we're working through that. What I wanted to sort of share with the community around that is that obviously as we continue to evolve and introduce some of these enhancements, we will provide an update. So there will be a mechanism to enable people to see, okay, what are the things that we fixed? If there were some bugs, have we managed to iron those out and sort those out? So there'll be a list of some of that. There'll also be a list of all the enhancements that we've introduced for the next version. Whilst the front end is easy enough to do that, it's a little bit more challenging when if we have to make any changes to the smart contracts, now the reality is we don't expect to have to do too much of that, but there will be some things that we'll need to do in the future to incorporate changes to supply, for example. So whilst we've got a supply within the system at the moment, that's going to change. And what I mean by that is the actual token supply. It's going to change because we'll go through a process of looking at what we currently have, making some final adjustments to that. So ultimately, when we deploy and when we release, potentially that if the people are going to receive any airdrops, when we do that, we need to make sure that all of that is configured into the system. So there will be some changes to smart contracts eventually. And so when that happens, that's a very different proposition than just an update where we're making some enhancements to the front end. So that'll happen, but rest assured that we'll provide enough information for people to understand that. One thing that we'll need to be able to manage well is when we do have to change smart contracts at all, and I think we will do based on what I've just mentioned, what will occur is anyone that has any of their test pulse locked up in the system, there will be an opportunity available for you to unlock that pulse so that ultimately when we redeploy the contracts, you're able to still get a hold of your test pulse to be able to go and use that. And I think by and large, most people will understand the need to do that, and will allow the previous version to remain so that there is an easy migration to any new versions that we release. The other thing I wanted to point out is that we'll probably make a change to the faucet. So at the moment, where anyone that wants to go and obtain loan token, they have to go to the faucet. It's really important that people understand that it's just a faucet. So what we're creating here is test loan that you can obtain to your own personal wallet. At the moment, we're only issuing 10. We'll probably make a change to that. What I mean by that is we'll probably increase the amount of loan token that you can actually go to obtain from the faucet. So we'll go through a process of changing that. That won't necessarily affect any of the smart contracts. It's just an ability for people to access more loan token. The only thing that we can't do, which is just unfortunate, but there are members out there in the community that maybe haven't sacrificed for Pulse, and as a consequence, they don't have a lot of test Pulse. Now, whilst you can go to the Pulse faucet to obtain some test Pulse, the amount that you get there is quite low. And so people that may not have sacrificed for Pulse, unfortunately, I think there'll be some restrictions in terms of what you can access and test. So obviously the borrowing function, there is a minimal amount required to be able to borrow against Pulse. And as a consequence of that, people that haven't sacrificed for Pulse, that don't have a lot of test Pulse, may struggle with that. So we might look at ways to help those folk. I'm not sure. Obviously, we'll need to work with the dev team over at Pulse and just make sure that we can actually accommodate some of that. But by and large, most people that are using the system have test Pulse, and they've been able to do that and be able to use the full functionality of the system. So there's some changes there. I think it's really important that people get the opportunity to try and break the thing. I mean, this is the whole idea of testnet, is to enable people to access it, make some comments if there's some things that they don't particularly like or they'd like to see enhanced. By and large, most of the enhancements are quite good. There were some that were a bit odd, and as a result, we've provided the appropriate feedback to some of those requests. But ultimately, I think most people are really enjoying using the DApp, and I expect that there'll be further feedback once we issue the next release of the DApp itself.
Awesome to hear. Also, I know the sacrifice balances are being calculated right now in their final form, if I'm not mistaken. Can you let us know how that's going on?
Yeah, no, that's good. So it's interesting. We went through the whole process of checking people's referral links, making sure that everyone had received all their referrals. I think the list at the end of the day, the changes that we've had to make, I think there's 7 wallets that we've had to fix just for some problems with what was recorded. So if you think about that, there's 7 transactions out of a total of 17,700 and whatever it was that we've had to sort of tidy up. And I think what I mentioned before to people is that whilst it's only 7, everyone's balances is going to change as a consequence of that, right? So what typically happens is that you make a change to one and it has a flow-on effect for everyone else. So even though it's not a lot of changes that we need to make to the balances, it will have an effect on everyone's balance. So hopefully in the positive, but there may be some slight adjustments. I don't expect that people's balances will be wildly different, but you may notice a slight difference. We're aiming to have all of those completed by the end of next week. So by the end of next week, we'll make another announcement, Matt, just around, hey guys, go and check your final balances. But it's been really good that we've actually taking the approach we've taken has meant that we've been able to do this in a very considered way. It hasn't sort of, been this constant change of balances and not understanding what your balance is from one day to the next. So the approach we've taken, we're pretty happy with that. But obviously at the end of that period, once we do release the final SAC balances, that's it, they're final. So we're not entering into any further correspondence around anything that may occur after that date. So it's just the way it's worked out. And I think most people responded well to that. So really happy with that.
Awesome. Good to know.
All right. So that's kind of where that is at on liquid loans. So looking forward to updated loan balances. And that should be the sacrifice balances. That should be the end of that. So maybe at the end of this week. So cool. And of course, maybe updated DAP with some of the enhancements that people have provided feedback for. So if you got any feedback, give it to Liquid Loans. That should be pretty cool. All right, let's go and wrap up here. We're up to an hour and 11 minutes. Got a couple more questions in the chat there, so let's get to that as well. So cool. Who else? There we've got a couple of comments in there. Rango says, hey mate, do you know of any revoked permission checks on EW as of yet? Not that I know of, Rango. I'm not sure if third parties token revoking sites are covering that yet. So, but yeah, not something I've looked at, but good question. Hex and Batman's okay, I already did it. Just making sure, double checking. Nice one, Hex and Batman on the old diamond hands. And of course, Christian Collins says, hey man, can you make tutorials on liquidity pools for Uniswap V2 and V3 so we can have more options in what we do with our tokens? Yep, sure. They'll be looking to do lots of different tutorials. So I'll put that on the list there. Thomas says, so who is nuts here, lol, says Thomas. So hopefully not too many people, Thomas. Hopefully it's mostly sane. Crypto Bigfoot in the house there. Hey, gang. Good to see Crypto Bigfoot. And okay, obviously, I mean, I'm a Wookiee, says Wookiee. You are a Wookiee, that's for sure. All right, so we got Hex at the moment at just under 3.4 cents at the moment. And we've got Maxi there making a bit of a push back up, just under 7.8 cents. And we've got Hedron at 2,900, pretty steady over the last couple of days. And of course, Icosa there at $1.07. We've got Pulse Dogecoin at $3.40, looking quite a nice position for a potential launch. We'll look forward to the gamification of the Pulse Bitcoin there. We've got ETH Power now, currently at $11.34, I think. Let me just refresh to make sure that's updated. Yeah, $11.38. And ETH Power there. ETH Fair, sorry, just easing off a little bit after quite a big rally up to $3.16. Now down at $2. So definitely down a lot there. If you think $3.13, $1.13 there. So that's where it is at the moment. But still up 255% in 2 days, which is pretty good. How much is ETH Fair up in that same period of time? 7 days, up 178% in 7 days. So it gives you kind of the idea there as well. Now, do I have one more site here? Yeah, ETH Hex on ETH Power network is currently at 001687. So just under 0.2 of a penny there. And on ETH Fair, Hex is at 0.0049. So yeah, that's where it is at the moment. So cool. That is cool. We think we're going to wrap up. We're up to an hour 15. I think it's a good place to wrap up. Go and vote for Hex Token channel on the KSB TV. Why not? Let's do it. And Francis says, hi Sandy Beach. Yeah, very cool. All right, so I hope you guys enjoy that. Yeah, I'll catch you guys in the second live streams later on today. We'll probably have Dip Catcher, the founder, of course, co-founder there with Maximus, with obviously on the channel. We'll be doing day 21 results as we look into what the last 17 hours or something like that, 18 hours of the day 2, day 22. So stay tuned for that. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Very nice. All right, let me play out some cool video chills here. I hope you guys enjoy this. I'm going to play out the Richard Hart Pulsechain video for Pulse Conference. Lots of cool little alpha drops from Richard. Really sums up very well all his perspective on the market and on Pulsechain and things like that coming up. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Take care out there, folks. Get into Discord. Links in the video description. Don't forget, subscribe, like, share, hit the bell, of course. You want to join this channel as a supporter, hit the join button. We've got Pulsechain, Hexskins, Richard Hart Club, and I will catch you in Discord and, of course, in 5 hours' time later on for our second live stream. Woohoo! All right, take care. Bye for now. Peace out.
What's up, guys? How's it going? Pulsechain shirt on. Pulsechain ring. So, am I just talking or what? Am I live? I guess I'm just live. Hey, everybody. I hope the weather's nice and cool out there. I hear it's like 106 Fahrenheit and hot. I have been talking to devs a lot recently, and I guess the next thing you're going to see released on Pulse X is going to be the limit orders. Works fine in the private testnet. They're just going to push it to the main branch, and like we'll be able to test that soon. And the big thing that we're waiting on is consensus improvements. So because my devs are geniuses, they find bugs other people don't know about. So they know about bugs in BSC that nobody else knows about. They know about bugs in the click consensus mechanism, which Pirelli is based on, that nobody knows about. And so, you know, before we launch mainnet, we want everything to be right. And right now we have a pretty cool opportunity because the Ethereum guys finally got to market with something, or are close to getting to market with something, which is their Ethereum 2.0, which will now, once it happens, just be called Ethereum. They won't be called Ethereum 2. And it doesn't release new coins. You're not going to get a copy of your coins on Ethereum 2. It doesn't improve costs. There's no extra throughput. There's no extra gas limit. There's no extra throughput per second. All it does is reduce issuance rate for Ethereum, which is bullish for all of crypto. You know, Ethereum's got half the market cap of Bitcoin. And if you don't have Ethereum miners dumping the price constantly and enriching power companies and hardware manufacturers at the cost of the environment and the price chart, well, that's great. And that's great for all of crypto. And it's also great for Pulsechain. In my mind, the two most important core concepts for Pulsechain are the Ethereum fees still high? Yes, they are. You know, I was looking earlier today, it's still $3 to send normal Ethereum. It's still, you know, 10 or 12 bucks to do a Uniswap transfer, et cetera. And that's during a bear market where, you know, Ethereum already dropped 85%. Bear markets tend to come to an end. So the last bear market only lasted 365 days. This one is going to last a little bit longer because people decided to destroy their balance sheets and buy a second. They didn't want to do the normal blow off top bubble chart. They wanted to do an extra double bubble. And this double bubble, well, it didn't work. Ethereum's capital liquidated, block, you know, Celsius bankrupt, Michael Saylor net negative, El Salvador net negative, everybody, you know, all those guys losing money left and right. All the people that listen to me, well, they've seemed to have done much better. Called top of the day. You might have heard that before. So basically, with this merge that's coming up, assuming it goes well, which I hope that it does, they've got a lot of audits. They've done a lot of testing on it. Hope it goes well. It doesn't do anything but help Pulsechain. Fees are still high. Gas limits are still low. No one's building out extra capacity for Ethereum. No one's trying to reduce the Ethereum fees except us. And I guess maybe the ETH2 developers that someday in the future will eventually get around to sharding, which has been a dream of theirs for like as long as Ethereum's existed. I don't know, 6 years. And it's great. So it also helps with our consensus stuff, because a lot of stuff the guys did in ETH2 for consensus is useful for us and Pulsechain. And that's the only thing we're really waiting on. So, you know, if you've used the testnet, which I consider to be the best game on the blockchain, hey, you like blockchain games? Guess what, guys? You get copies of all your coins in the pulsechain.com testnet. Go try them out right now. You can trade them back and forth. You can do, you know, it's the same code. So you can do a lot of the same things. And everything else has been really good. Like PulseX, done tons of trades, tons of people doing buy and burns, you know. I've heard nothing but good things about the testnet. So we're basically, because things have taken as long as they have, we're more secure. We're able to improve other projects if we want. Not sure we will. You know, it's just funny. So in my mind, the two things people care about the most in Pulsechain are more coins, more throughput, lower fees. That's the primary value statement. And ETH 2.0 with this merge doesn't give you new coins, doesn't give you lower fees, doesn't give you higher throughput. And so our value proposition is totally clean. I like it. Everything's good. And then the less negative sell pressure on crypto as a whole from removing the miners having to get paid all the time is good for everything. Now, am I bullish on crypto? Not yet. Now remember, Hex ran up 60x versus Bitcoin the first time it dumped from 65K down 55%. So Hex can totally decorrelate from Bitcoin. I think it was kind of bad timing that it looks correlated now, because we had our own cycles, right? There were sacrifice phases. There was other things going on in our own cycles. And so I wouldn't be surprised if some point Hex started doing the same things it used to do, which is just overperforming like crazy. We'll see. I don't have a crystal ball. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, do your own research, etc. But I mean, even recently when you saw Bitcoin like break under 20K, which people are really hoping for, they don't want to see, they don't like seeing Bitcoin under 20K. And then if you're a technical analyst, there's some things that say like support becomes resistance. And so, you know, what used to be resistance is support in theory, old 20K top, now 20K quote bottom, but actually didn't hold a 20K bottom at all. Didn't respect that at all. You know, went down to 17.5, is now sitting at, it was interesting. I saw the euro and Bitcoin and the S&P 500 all pumped today. I was like, oh, I wonder if they're correlated. So yeah, I think as long as Grayscale Bitcoin's at a 33% discount, which it is, and they hold 1% of all Bitcoin, and, you know, the Ethereum merge might be a buy the rumor, sell the news event. I mean, we see lending, people that are borrowing Ethereum for the merge, they're paying like 15% APY to do it. And so, you know, there's some people interested in playing this merge game. And I think traditionally in crypto, buy the rumor, sell the new stuff is pretty common, you know. And so with the risk that Bitcoin dumps due to either just not doing its 85% dump yet, which would put it, you know, a little bit under 11K, and the 33% discount on Grayscale BTC, which has been consistent. I mean, it's been there for months. And the Mt. Gox coins being released at some point. Those guys suck so bad. Just give us a date, guys. Just give us a date. Let's go. Stop screwing around, you know? The comedy, that whole thing. And then we've got the Bitfinex coins they're trying to sell, which I think is like 94,000 coins or 84,000 coins or something. And then we've got Ross Ulbricht's coins, which I think is like 70,000 coins, somewhere between 54 and 74,000. Can't remember the exact number. I tweeted all these, so you can look these up. So we've got discounted Grayscale Bitcoin, which is 1% of all Bitcoin. We've got Mt. Gox, Bitfinex, and the federal marshals probably selling Ross Ulbricht's coins because he signed off to let them do it to pay his restitution. And then normal cycle dump, right? And then maybe buy the rumor, sell the news for merge. So in my mind, it's the dream bottom would be the Grayscale discount goes away. Some of those free coins that are going to get released by law, like the Japanese ones at Mt. Gox, or going to get dumped as a matter of law, which would be the Ulbricht ones of Silk Road fame. And then it's up in the air whether the Bitfinex ones will really get sold or not. You know, they might get refunded or they might get sold. Who knows? And there's, I think there was 94,000 coins there. You could look it up. So the dream would be those coins get dumped. Bitcoin's deficit to net asset value in Grayscale disappears. And then it does its traditional 11K and pray 85% dump. That's been a nice bottom. And then if they raised interest rates, oh boy, that'd be nice too. Because as long as they keep doing quantitative tightening, QT, it pushes down the stock market pushes down Bitcoin pushes down Ethereum. That's how it goes. And then I like this next cycle is going to be hilarious because with Pulsechain, you know, like look at the situation Bitcoin's in. Is there DeFi in Bitcoin? Comedically, no. Is there high throughput? Is there low fees? Is there a roadmap? Nope. Is there good anonymity? Nope. Now I was just talking to a lawyer today about the Tornado Cash situation. And this, I'm not a lawyer. This is not legal advice, but he says that, you know, the sanction just addressed USDC, which means it could be the case that you can still use Tornado Cash using the ETH address. And as long as you're using IPFS to access the contract, you know, it seems like it should be okay. But if you mess this up, it's devastating. Don't mess it up. Be very careful. Get your own legal advice. You know, of the many things in this world that you want to toy with, sanctions are not one of them. The government takes them very, very seriously. So I would get legal advice from a lawyer before I did anything related to sanctions. So yeah, bear markets don't last forever, right? So if our top was, let's check the chart here, check the chat. So if we call the most recent local top, get on the daily here, in Bitcoin, if we call that November of 2021, and a year out would be, that's November 11th of November 10th of 2021. You know, that's 2 months from now. So if the bear market's only going to last 365 days, that's only 2 months and 4 days from now. Could happen, right? We could dump, make that firm bottom. And everyone else is thinking about this bear market. I'm thinking about the next bull market. As soon as we've got this consensus figured out, and I think we've got a good plan, as soon as this consensus is like executed and fixed on Pulsechain, it's going to be glorious. Imagine imagine all these new people that get to buy a massive dip. So when I got into crypto, I didn't get to buy a massive dip. I got to buy the top. So I bought Bitcoin at 30 and it went down to 2. I was down 93.5% to start. It was like, oh, well, this sucks. Then you just hold. Then it goes up to 1,200, and then it goes down to 200, and then it goes up to 20,000, then it goes down to 3, and then it goes up to 14, then it goes to 4, and then it goes to 69, and then it goes to 17. That's the history. So being able to have so many people, like perhaps the people at this conference, buying at rates that are, 10 times cheaper, like for instance, Hex dip 95%. Well, golly, that's a good dip. I mean, you could get, if you buy 95% dip, you're getting 20 times the stuff for the same economic energy that a person that had bought previously did. So in theory, that greatly reduces your risk because you're getting so much more stuff. I don't know why in crypto everyone loves to buy tops and sell bottoms, but if you have the opportunity to buy bottoms, like some people bought the big payday dip, well, that was glorious. They did very well on that. Some people bought that $2 dip. I didn't. I just held. But had I been a lot smarter, buying a 90% dip on something that went up another 20,000 fold, yeah, actually went up another 34,500 fold from $2. So it's a lot. It's a lot of extra movement. 34,500x from the bottom of the dip. That was my introduction to Bitcoin. What else do we got going? I mean, some of you guys may notice there was a US credit card on-ramp available for Hex, which would be buy-to-hex.com. What else? Yeah, really, we're kind of waiting for consensus. That's the majority of what we care about right now. And we also, the documentary's done. So the highest of stakes documentary is complete, and they're just slapping the soundtrack on there now. So it's I hear a 40-piece orchestra. I'm not an expert in orchestras. I'm not, I don't listen to too much orchestral music. I guess we all do if we watch movies, because it's very common in movies. And apparently everyone that's seen it likes it. So I think it's going to be awesome when that comes out. So let's see what next year might look like. Pulsechain, PulseX, Hex on the Ethereum network, Hex on the Pulse network, documentary out, incentive token out. Tell us more about the incentive token. I don't know. People probably provide liquidity to it, and that'll be its claim to fame. What's Dogecoin's claim to fame? As a JPEG. This still seems to be a mechanic that works in crypto. What else? Racking my head here. Oh, yeah, the wallet's coming along. Mr. Wallet developer is still building out the wallet, so that's coming along. Anything else?